We're live.
Good deal. Everything connected?
It's on Restream. On Twitter. Twitch, not Twitter. The new thing Restream does. We're now on Twitter, too. We'd have to pay for that.
Right? Not doing that with a blue check mark.
Right? The thing right now that says, hey, if you want new features, get verified. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Not, in fact, want new features. There we are on YouTube. Okay. Good old. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so. Just real quick, by the way, I'll mention this again in weeks, but I did get my legendary weapon. Like, I bought the disenchanted stuff, bought stuff in Lotro.
Yeah.
I got 15% more lightning damage.
Didn't hurt. We always use more lightning damage.
Yeah. Okay, so got everything responded to. All the notifications are out. So, pre-show topic.
All right.
There is one of the things that is really hype for me every time it happens is when a good crossover happens in a game or in a movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any of those that you just really love? Because I have one that was reminded of me today, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Amalgam.
Which one?
Amalgam. It's a DC Marvel. When they crossed over.
Okay.
And there was fights, and all the fans voted on who should win the fight. A couple of them I don't quite agree with, but and then when they're trying to fix the universe, because those two universes were never supposed to meet.
Right.
Fix the universe, they end up crashing the two universes into each other.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's where you come with like Dark Claw, who's Wolverine, Batman.
Right.
There's a cross between Superboy and Spider-Man. And
okay.
There's a few others.
Hi, Roxanne.
Got it too. Hey, Roxanne, glad you're here. A few others, but probably that was like such a big deal for me when I was a teenager.
Yeah. I will.
Yeah, cool. Hey, Will, glad you're here. So that's probably.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that was probably my favorite. Is the Amalgam comic books crossover.
Hurry up, Rundgren.
That makes sense. I don't blame you.
Ready.
The one that always hits me is Project Cross Zone, which is like a Super Robot Wars style game, but with other video game characters.
Come on, Trey.
Thanks, Will. And I'm working on it. And there's some really weird ones, like Crom and Lucina from Fire Emblem are there, with Soccer Wars characters, and also like fighting game characters. So like Ryu is there, and Ken is there, right?
Yeah.
But there were some special events where you could get special characters through DLC or anything like that, because it was on 3DS. And one of them was you could get The Rock.
Okay.
And when you get to like one of the final maps, you fight a Tekken bad guy. I'm sorry, a King of Fighters bad guy that has like the glowing tattoos and everything. And I quote, The Rock says, because the guy tries to introduce himself. The Rock cuts in and says, "It doesn't matter what your name is. The Rock isn't interested in your name, your tattoos, or why you're glowing. The Rock's just here to beat you down."
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's pretty solid. Another couple that I see in this thread are Cloud and Squall teaming up together in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. There's a really funny line there where Cloud is like, "If there was one more of them, I might have a problem." And Squall says, "Well, I'll just have to cover the one then."
Yeah.
And Cloud says, "Oh, you're fighting too? That'll make this easy." It's like, yeah, okay. All right. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 has the incredible moment where Ryu and Cyclops shake hands.
Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty good. Pretty good. And then the Jump Superstars series has Luffy, Naruto, and Goku all like do the 3-way fist bump, you know?
Yeah.
Like, all right, that's pretty solid.
Got that straight. Another big one. Oh well. Another big one for me when I was a kid was the it was in the comics. They never did it, and I don't think it was ever animated or anything like that. But it was the Transformers GI Joe
Yeah,
crossover. Yeah.
nice. Did Snake Eyes ride Jazz?
No. No.
That'd be a fun team up.
Why? Only one talks.
Yeah,
It'd
but
Like one, just one dialogue the whole time.
yeah, just imagine Jazz trying to get Snake Eyes to open up, and then it doesn't happen.
Right.
I like that. That'd be good. I just like Snake Eyes. Okay, he's cool.
Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow were the it was always like a big deal when those two faced off.
Mm-hmm. Like Scorpion Sub-Zero levels.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly in the new Mortal Kombat, to taunt, you have to crouch twice.
Okay.
And so they did that so that it was reminiscent of teabagging, which is lost in the gaming community now, apparently. I don't think it ever stopped, but...
Yeah. Yeah, go play Fortnite then.
Right.
Or Call of Duty.
That's a crossover. Fortnite.
Yeah.
There's no actual, like... It's not characters meeting. It's just, yeah, he's also here. And then there's also this guy.
Right. Well, by crossover definition, Smash Brothers is a crossover.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. I guess I don't think about it that way, but it's very true. Oh, in the story mode for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, where the light beams are hitting everybody and they're getting taken out, there's so many little crossover nods in there. Like Samus goes to try and get to Pikachu because Samus always tries to save the little ones, you know?
Yeah.
But then Sonic gets there first because Sonic also tries to save the animals.
Yeah.
You have Shulk with like the premonition of it's about to hit him, but he's not able to get out of the way in time. And Link tries to use the shield to block it, you know? But it's not Breath of the Wild Link, so he can't deflect it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that's enough on that. We can get to the actual shit. I can sit here talking about cool crossovers. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
And I got to change you back to Rungren now.
Oh, yes. Yes. That was Frank West for a little bit there.
You did cover wars.
Yes.
So yeah, we got stuff to talk about tonight. Two major shows happened that one of them we didn't realize was going to be a show because it's always just been demos.
Yeah.
And the other we didn't know was coming because they just went, hey, it's here. So we got those to talk about tonight. We got other stuff too, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Dark. Made it just in time for the intro.
Well, I'm glad you're fresh and clean before you come to watch this show.
Yeah, I mean it's a special occasion, right? Podcast.
It's special, all right.
I say as I wear my shirt that has holes in it.
Yes.
I just love this shirt though. You know what? That's fair.
Fair enough. I agree with the sentiment. Yes.
That's fair. Do we have a pop quiz tonight?
Yeah, I got a pop quiz for you, Bo.
Okay. That's true.
Right.
We have not.
We have not. I don't have much to say this week about it, but I got a pop quiz on Voltron.
Okay. Is it OG Voltron, Voltron Legendary Defender, or a mix of both?
I Mostly it's going to be OG Voltron.
Perfect.
All right. So, Voltron is formed by combining how many individual lion robots?
5.
Excellent. Got that one. That was easy, right?
Yeah.
Just even if you don't know Voltron, you can probably figure that one out. So what are the names of the 5 lion robots that forms Voltron?
Okay, so it's the black lion, the red lion, the blue lion, the green lion, and the yellow lion.
Absolutely perfect. And you almost did it in the exact order I've got them written down here. Who's the leader of the Voltron team?
Well, it's Keith.
Right on. I'd have also accepted Takashi Shirogane.
Yeah, that's his original name from Go Lion.
Yeah. So what is the name of the evil emperor in Voltron?
Zarkon.
Excellent. Doing really well.
I had to stop and think about that one, though. No, I was able to remember the 5 lions because the original show is called Go Lion, and it goes, Wong, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1 is 5. And it's like, thanks for teaching me how to count, Go Lion.
Yeah, right. Little addition in there. Little arithmetical learning.
The only math I'm good at.
Right? There we go. So what's the source of power for Voltron?
Ooh, the source of power. Voltron was... That's fair. Voltron is powered by... I'm gonna get this one wrong. Voltron used to be like he was the defender of the galaxy, defender of the universe, and he was powered by hope. But then when he crashes and the lions are separated, he's powered by something on the planet. I'm gonna say a crystal, but it was originally hope.
It's quintessence.
Okay, yeah, quintessence.
It's wrong.
Yeah,
the quintessence powers him. Yes.
Yeah, because Voltron was like a... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Voltron was like a sentient thing of its own. It had sapience. And then when the lions broke up, now the individual lions have sapience.
Yeah. What that? All right. So who's the princess of the planet Aurus and a member of the Voltron team?
Princess Allura.
Very good. What is the name of the castle that serves as the headquarters for the Voltron team?
Castle Lion?
Real close. Real close. I'll probably go ahead and give that one to you. But it's Castle of Lions.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the name of the villainous witch who serves as one of Zarkon's henchmen?
Hagar.
Yes.
It's named after a lady from the Bible.
Yep. Not the Viking. That's
Right.
Hagar.
Yeah.
The horrible. And what is the main weapon used by Voltron?
It's the sword. Hold on, I know the name. It's Blazing Sword.
Blazing sword.
Yeah.
Very good. And finally, what is the name of the hot-headed pilot of the Red Lion?
That's Lance. He's my favorite.
That is Lance. He's the Raphael of the group.
Yep. Hey, well, welcome back.
Welcome back, man. Very good. That was one wrong. Not bad. Just remember that Voltron's source of power is the quintessence.
That's right.
And you'll be all right. All right. You can keep your Voltron card, I guess.
Ooh. Also, Voltron has one of the best theme tunes ever. Bum 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 bum.
Yes.
That is iconic. No one remembers it anymore.
Well, I think after the X-Men cartoon came out, all of the theme songs were just kind of forgotten.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
3 is not bad, Dark, because Voltron. I mean, fair enough. But Voltron's a little bit older, and it's not really like kept up with. Not like Gundam, right?
Yeah.
Where every years you're going to get a new show.
Yeah. And Voltron Legendary Defender, which was the first Voltron show in 20 years, was not like OG. It was very different. It was cool. It had some cool stuff, you know.
Right, right.
It wasn't like original Voltron.
Nothing's like original Voltron.
Well, the new one went, hey, what if... Okay, so spoilers, I guess, for original Voltron. There is another pilot that doesn't stick around in the original Voltron. And I won't say why. But in the new one, what if he stuck around? And I think it kind of ruins the dynamic.
Yeah?
Of like, hey, yeah, here are these 5. So...
Right.
Yeah, it gets really... Voltron Legendary Defender gets really interesting, too, because it goes, hey... Pidge is a girl now. It's like, all right, I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. Also, Hunk isn't a character now. It's like, oh, okay, I kind of have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked Hunk in the original.
Guy, huh? What you got against the fat guy?
Yeah.
You...
But no,
Yeah,
it's got some cool ideas. I'd say if you're a fan of Voltron, obviously it's worth watching because it's more Voltron. There's some cool stuff in there, but it definitely does Keith and Lance and Allura pretty dirty, and then Hunk just gets left out to die. Basically, he doesn't just but they don't give him any real characterization. It depends on who you want the romance from, because they tease a bunch of ships that don't sail. I'll put it that way. And then the red and green. Well, that's the thing. Red and green don't have a romance in the new one. Green just has a thing for red, and red has a thing for blue, and that doesn't go anywhere because blue has a thing for Lothar. That doesn't go anywhere because Lothar has a thing for his new 4 generals that get introduced, and then they try to push red and black in a relationship, which wasn't in the original and also doesn't happen, and just it gets really weird with like, hey, we're just gonna tease a bunch of ships so people write a bunch of fan fiction, and then we're not actually going to follow through on anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No.
So.
Can't have that.
Yeah. That's okay. I understand, Will. Voltron is really good in Super. It's an absolute unit.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. And so, then instead of leaving the show open at the end and making sure people could have their headcanons, they just ship people off right at the end with completely random people. And none of the ships sail. So, yeah, there's a reason that fanbase like lashed back against that show really hard when it ended.
Yeah, sure.
We didn't watch Gundam this week.
Yeah, no.
There's no Gundam.
Yeah. We will be starting Igloo soon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, one this week.
Yeah.
Get on that.
Dark, just look up some of the responses people have had to the end of Voltron Legendary Defender, and it is the fact that they went, hey, we're gonna push
up, Rundgren.
There's the hurry up. The fact that they went, hey, we're going to push Keith and Lance, and then gave it, like, actual time in the show to build, and then went, nah. Like, oh, all right. That's not how you want to do that. Okay. We'll get into weeks.
All right.
How's your week been, sir?
It's been all right. I watched a show called Sweet Tooth, which is very good. It's based on a DC comic. I don't know if I think it was after DC got rid of the Vertigo line.
Yeah.
Yeah, DC Vertigo. I was kind of a fan of that series because it was a lot more serious, a lot darker, more grown up stories in the comic book. Yeah, Sweet Tooth, the Netflix show. It's based off a DC comic. Came out in 2021. They got 2 seasons for it. There's supposed to be a 3rd season coming, but I thought that it was all out.
Right.
But there's gonna be more to it, and that show's rough.
It's on my list. I've been wanting to watch it for a while, but never did.
Heartbreaking. The characters go really good. There's this girl character that really I can't stand her when you're introduced to her. Oh, okay, good. All
There you
right.
go. There you go.
The
Antlers.
she's known as Bear. Her name's Becky, but she's Bear, what they called her. And like, yeah, she's like almost intolerable.
Oh boy.
And it's written that way, right? The it's not like she's done a bad job. And Vertigo, V for Vendetta, yeah, for Vendetta is Vertigo. All the Sandman were done in Vertigo. There's some really good Batman stories in Vertigo.
Yeah.
Because you have like you get one or two choices in the Batman stories, right? You either get like the Adam West with the Batarang and
Right.
all that, everything, a battery, but nobody knows what a turret is.
Yeah.
And all that, or you get the insane guy that dresses up as a bat at night and goes out and beats people up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got some issues. But yeah, Vertigo was a great line. I'm not sure why they stopped it.
Yeah.
They're just gonna pull it into like mainline or whatever.
Right.
They had some really good. I think DC was really reaching out and trying to expand on what a comic book or a graphic novel could be.
Right.
With Vertigo, and then they just dropped it.
Makes sense.
At least they got all the Sandman out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do that. But Sweet Tooth is very good. Another show I think is really well cast on there. Very interesting. They do this thing where like and it's done all the time on that, and sometimes it can be real just aggravating. Where like you have you got two people in the show you're watching, and there's a big plot point about these two. If these two people need to meet,
Right.
one of them has information the other one has to have, or they should know each other,
Right.
or things like that. And then they do like these brush bys where, if she'd have turned her head to the right, she would have seen, kind of thing. And that does happen quite a bit in there.
Yeah.
It does feel a drag in a couple spots because of stuff like that. But overall, a great show. Fake granddaughter. The character name Jeopard.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen that actor in anything else, but man, he does a good job. Going through, and also there's a great villain.
Okay.
Like you will hate the guy.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
That's doing a good job as a villain, right?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely suggest watching Sweet Tooth. I'm hoping the third season comes out sometime this year.
Yeah.
And lucky when it comes out, but I hope it comes out sometime this year. I need that to finish up.
I understand.
The end of it.
That's where I'm at with Stranger Things right now.
I was I don't know, hurt. I'm upset. Should have been wrapped up. There's a couple of things. They did wrap up a couple of things.
Yeah.
In there that was like, okay, that needed to be done. I feel better now. Right? But there's some really, really good characters in there.
Yeah.
And yeah. And really great writing. And from what I was seeing, they fix that. They I don't know, man. Like I said, the show will hurt your heart.
Yeah.
If you care about like people or animals at all, but it's a really strong show, and they got characters. Like each character, even the small ones, feel like they have an arc.
Yeah.
They have a story that goes through. Like the girl that shows up, can't stand her.
Yeah.
When she first shows up, but by the end of it, she's grown and she's changed, right?
Of course, yeah.
But like each character has something in there that like goes through, goes through, kind of changes a little bit.
Yeah.
About them, and then they've got I don't know. I'm really interested in the third season because it ended the final scene, or the next to final scene. I really got some questions about.
Yeah.
It involves an older Asian lady, and I'm not sure where they're going to go with that.
Okay.
But she seems terrifying. At the end of the day, she seems absolutely terrifying.
Okay.
It feels. This probably sound weird. The world feels like Fallout. in a
Okay.
weird. Like there's things in it when you're watching along. You're like, yeah, that's like straight out of that. No. I'm afraid she's about to take that shoe off though.
Right.
In the third season, the I don't know. I don't know. I understand where you're coming from, but I don't know. The there's a couple characters you kind of they get you to root for.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't go the way you want it to for them.
Of course.
So it's done really, really well. I'm gonna go back at some point and get the graphic novel.
Yeah.
And read it. Yeah. It looks from what I've seen on the graphic novel that the main character is a little bit older. So the main character, cute little kid, awesome little kid. Now, a lot of times when they put a kid at front and center of a show, it's like they require that child to carry the show.
Right.
And it does not feel like that. Not to diminish his character at all, but everybody feels like they're putting in their part to carry that show through.
Awesome.
And it works so well. And like I said, it hurts your heart.
Yeah.
Hurts your heart.
That's cool.
But if Apocalypse comes, I'm going to Yellowstone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this show's made up my mind. So
okay. I do like shows that hurt my heart. So check it out.
Yeah. Going through. But yeah, that's quite different. I've been doing sitting down playing I've been running. No, but I know that's Taika Waititi's show.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Our Flag Means Death, the pirate show.
Also, congrats on those gotcha pulls, Will.
Nice. Yeah, I heard it's good. I need to watch that. And there's two shows that kind of made me think of each other. And it's Our Flag Means Death and What We Do in the Dark.
Yeah.
And which is a vampire comedy.
I have so many shows on my to watch.
Yeah, right. There's some good stuff. There's a lot of crap out there, but there's some good stuff.
Yeah, raise your flag. Reference. Raise your flag.
And Sweet Tooth is like I said, the world. It's the apocalypse. The world feels kind of like there's scenes and stuff. I don't know. I can't really explain it. It was like, yeah, that would so work.
Yeah.
But it is. There's something very original about it. And the way they handle the science in there, the writers did a really great job because they don't try to overdo it, just to prove that they know what they're talking about.
Right.
That they give you enough to where you're comfortable with, okay, in a weird way, I see how this happened.
Yeah.
And it's all about humans meddling with the environment. Stop it.
Oh, that's on point for right now.
Yeah, right.
What was the vampire one? Dark is asking.
What We Do in the Dark. What We Do in the Dark. But yeah, that's about it. Fallout and Sweet Tooth pretty much covered my week. We had a great run yesterday in Lotro.
Yeah.
Getting on that, getting a little bit more outside Moria. Now we're finally outside Moria. We can leave the darks and the roots of the mountain behind us for a while.
I replaced my block chance and my parry chance on my legendary weapons with 2 lightning deals that give me a set bonus that lets me get 15% more lightning damage.
And we always need more lightning damage. There's can't go wrong with it.
I'm such a glass cannon.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's pretty much my week. How's your week been, Dre?
My week's been pretty busy. Didn't get as much done as I'd like to get done because also working on the barn. But that is progressing really well. We got the top half of the left side is done, and there's now a tarp across that. We almost have the top right side done, and then we'll put tin up there.
The Amish, okay?
Right?
Barn.
That's true. That's very true.
Move it where it needs to go.
But we're using all wood that we cut from when we get. I'm planning a video of just like close-ups of all the animals because I got to be real careful. If I take wide shot videos, people will find out where I live, and there's a part of me that
I'm worried about the animals.
That's true. There's part of me that thinks I should just wait till the barn's done and then I can take the pictures in the barn. But no, the animals are loving it, and it's nice having a place where you can get up under the shade and the heat. You know.
Is it Nightbot? Is it?
So the barn is done. Hopefully, a couple weeks. Yeah, if I run into something else that's immune to lightning, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let Rugard kill it at that point.
I will punch it to death.
I'll heal you. I'll debuff it.
That'll work. That'll work. There's one thing that I really like about Lovejoy is when you debuff something, we notice.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
You know, it's not like, okay, I'm doing a couple more points. It's like, no, its defenses have been sabotaged.
Yeah.
It's much worse.
20% more damage you're doing or something like that, you know? Pretty crazy. But it also, like, that's a long spell to cast, so I think it's pretty balanced. We've not.
Not yet. Yeah, there's a couple things that come up. We're waiting on some news on a couple of things we're kind of on pause with that right now. But
yeah.
We're going through, the next thing we're going to start is Igloo.
Yeah. Yeah, there is an ad going. Got buffs too? Nice.
Right on.
Buffs are always great. I will get you a picture of because the ad's still going. It should have stopped on my end. It says it stopped. Dark, I'll get you a picture of the horse and send it to you.
Ugh, goodness.
We have not started yet. We're waiting on some stuff. Part of it was the Twitch stuff that hasn't changed, so we'll see how that goes. But
yeah.
We'll get everything sorted out as soon as we can.
God, another horse girl.
The other stuff that I've been working on is playing Wasteland 3. Working my way through that, and there was a Total Biscuit reference in there. At one point, you find a museum, and there's a top hat in a case. And when you click on it, it says in memoriam of a man who fought for the little guy. And I was like, that's pretty good.
Excellent. Nice.
That game's still really fun. Still working my way through Zelda. That's really good. I need to record a video in the back half of this week that is like, hey, this video will have spoilers in it now, and I can just talk about stuff because there's been 2 non-spoiler videos.
It's been long enough.
Yeah. I'm not done with it yet. Probably not by far if I had to guess, but man, am I having a blast with it.
Because I'm sure speedrunners are already beating it in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's taking you so long, huh?
Yeah, I want to explore. I started recording and did not get to finish in time the FF16 demo.
Mm-hmm.
Might have a ponytail like horses, but it's not a horse girl. I mean, there's that anime about horse girls, and that's all they have is the ponytails. They don't have any. They're just regular people except for the ponytails. But the FF16 demo is real good.
I think you're biased.
I'm very biased, but it's also like more than an hour long. I'm like an hour and a half in at this point, and it's still going. I've not tried Liza P. No. The combat is really good. And the accessibility options are really cool. They have an accessibility option in this that I haven't seen in other stuff, which is when sounds are happening, you have a toggle where you can turn on where you can turn on like a pulsing sound effect on the side of the screen to let you know that there are sound effects happening. I've never seen a game do that before. That's really cool.
Interesting.
It's really fun. The story grabbed me a lot more than I thought it was going to. It wasn't just like interesting. I want to know what happens next. And I'm really enjoying it. So that video will come out. I figured I'd just record the whole demo. I thought the demo was only going to be like an hour. It's not new. It's not common. Okay. Well, I'm just glad to see more people do it.
Yeah.
While it's still available. Yeah.
The best Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Yeah. Long live hot dog water.
And then just real quick, throw this out. Final Fantasy 16. The music is incredible so far. As it should be. Masayoshi Soken's working on it. But then also I've got some physical stuff here, some minis that have primed and ready to paint. I've got the Tobi Kadachi is primed. Ready to paint that guy in a nice teal.
Very nice.
Got the Puke Puke.
Is it a thin Lizzie?
He's primed and ready to go. I did start, there's a couple spots on him that are a little light priming because my Chaos Black started running out.
Ah.
That's why I stopped priming when I did. Is that a turkey? No, it's a Puke Puke.
It's a jive turkey.
He's a gecko bird. Then I got Anjanath.
That's cool.
Decided to paint him. All of them, but I primed all the goats.
Very nice.
Paint them, so very excited for that. You know, that's really weird. Oh, YouTube. And then oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I didn't get this guy primed because, again, I ran out of Chaos Black, but I got my giant Chaos Marine that I'm going to paint like a World Eater. I was really excited for this guy, and he's got a lot of cool details, but this is one of the worst things to put together that I've ever seen. The hands don't open, so you have to bend the hands out of the way to put the weapons in there.
Looks like lots of action figures are like that, like the G.I. Joe, where they just have the hands like this.
Yeah.
You gotta like kind of force it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, like the gun's facing off this way, to the side.
Yeah. And then the stand has just a single peg that you're supposed to put into the foot, but it doesn't even cover the full base of the feet, and it doesn't even like sit there. It just like falls back. But I got this on an incredible deal, Dark. I think I paid like $10 for this guy, which is probably why stuff is not great on him. How's it going, King? Sort of free trial just to watch it. So I'm probably going to do some stuff to help him stand up straight. And then the last big thing of my week is, I broke a monitor. Right there.
Yeah.
Filming some stuff. I did get a haircut, yeah. So, got to figure out what I'm going to do with that, but so did you? Oh no! We're cursed!
Ooh.
Let's just keep it contained to us so nobody else breaks theirs.
Right.
But, there's a video for that. And so I titled the video Final Fantasy VII Broke My Monitor, because it was a good clickbait title. And, like, the top comment on that video is, so you mean you broke your monitor? And it's like, yes? Like, I say that in the video? What? No, you did not tell me that, man. Oh, that's terrible.
That is bad. But you
Not good at all.
put a capacitor in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much been my week. Oh, I did finish Stranger Things, I guess. Mention that real quick.
Yeah.
Stranger Things season 4, waiting on season 5 now. Still a great show. Still really good. Couple characters introduced that I don't think necessarily needed to be there, but ultimately still really fun. So
I feel like it Stranger Things feels fair enough, yeah. I understand completely. A lot of the wires in this house still have the paper shielding, the paper insulation inside the cloth wire. Yeah. But I forgot what I was going to say. I was thinking about the electricity and wondering if my house is going to burn down.
right.
What we're talking about.
Oh, it's Tiamat for sure. It's Tiamat at this point. That's the next option.
I don't know. I feel like that show could be done already, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think
I don't know if it's very popular.
Yeah.
They've done a great job on it, but I think that's the reason it's getting more seasons rather than the story goes.
Well,
on more seasons.
And not to spoil too much, I guess they specifically beat the enemy in this one, and then they go, "Oh, but he's gone." And it's like, "Oh, okay." It could have just been over right there.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of little nods in Stranger Things, and obviously I don't catch all of them.
Yeah,
but there's little nods to past stuff that's come out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I like it. I like it a lot. I'm with you. I feel like it could have ended there, and then now I have to wait until possibly sometime middle of next year for season 5. Like, look, by then, am I still gonna care as much as I do right now? I don't know.
I'm still waiting on Invincible season 2 and The Boys season 4.
That's fair. I am also waiting on The Boys season 4. House still has fuses. Oh boy.
I put a breaker box on mine, so I put breakers in there.
Yeah. Don't blame you.
Yeah. Wired it all myself. Looks horrible.
But it works, huh?
It does work.
Just as long as the electric company doesn't come out to my house, we'll be fine.
Well, where we live, if I lived 10 feet, if my house is 5 or 10 feet that way, for that, I would have to have an electrician come out and do all that for the electric company to turn my power on.
Yeah.
Since I've got that 10 feet of room.
Yeah.
Don't count as in the city.
Right.
I can do it myself.
Yep. I also don't count as in the city, so as long as they don't come out here, we're fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to answer that question and incriminate myself on video, Dark. I live in a country where I'm not forced to incriminate myself. So let's get into reviews.
All right.
You shall not pass, indeed. Okay, so clearing the board from the people that were on the Ice Cream Wall of Fame.
Okay.
We have 3 reviews tonight.
All right.
The first one is MotoGP 23.
Oh my gosh, it's still a game?
Yep, they're still making these.
Oh.
I'll put it this way, I only have 10 reviewers, by the way.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'd be nice and give it 82 from my end.
Just love that what have you done is still there as the latest message.
Yeah. I don't have time to go into it. Yeah. High C, low B.
The score is nice.
6, right?
77.
Oh.
It was 1 off.
1 off. Very good.
So, 2 reviews here for you. First one is from the Games Machine. It says MotoGP 23 is the qualitative leap that the Milestone series needed. We're not talking about revolutions. It would be unrealistic to think so, but about consistent improvements in all the characteristic aspects of the title. From the simulation verve through an engaging career, from a high-profile technical sector to the physical and mental sensations of the race, where the AI exhibits new behaviors, although some issues still persist. And I had to read that one for you, because that's a word salad in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But
it's not AI.
Nope.
It's a bot. There's a difference.
But it's not going through YouTube. That's a sound cop.
I'm not liking you tonight.
You may have to just drop you. GamesView says it's hard to wholeheartedly recommend MotoGP 23 to anyone but devout fans of the sport, especially with 9-season 2009 gone without anything to replace it. It's a solid racing game with some decent updates, but it's not the most generous when it comes to content, and it fails to cater to newcomers without basically taking control off of them. Ultimately, it may be out of date now, but most are better off sticking with MotoGP 22 for another year.
I hate yearly games.
Yep.
I actually there was a time in my life where I enjoyed Madden football, and everything, but there's so many times when all they simply just update the roster.
Yeah.
You don't have to change the game or anything, just offer the new roster for the new year.
Yep. High faith. What do you think? 67? Okay.
72. Roxanne,
72? Okay.
Yeah.
There used to be big improvements. There really did.
Yeah. But yeah, we're so far past that.
Mm-hmm.
The best football game was NCAA 2014.
Yeah.
And there was a big change in that game from the previous versions of it.
Yeah.
You know, and they were better. That almost a decade ago is the last time that I'm like, yeah, they've done something.
Yeah, I agree. So the score is 60%.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Much as I don't agree with a bunch of the stuff Twitch is doing right now, Twitch is definitely the better experience, without a question. Not even because of the sound alerts, but because of the lag.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, next up then, Dark almost got it, but nobody quite got there. Next up is Harmony, the Fall of Reverie. Story of my life, oh no.
Harmony, the Fall of Reverie.
Yeah, so let me pull up the description for you. Let me give you the definition of your spelling bee word.
Right. Can you
watch
use it
out,
in a
bearded
sentence,
man?
please?
Watch out. Yeah, there's really no better, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay, so the fate of humanity is at stake. Use your gift of clairvoyance to see into the future and stop an apocalypse that threatens the balance between your world and the deities. This is a... what's it tagged as? Story-rich, choices matter, colorful soundtrack game. Thanks, tags. That system works perfectly. That tells me nothing. Yeah, it looks really cool. It's made by Don't Nod. But
right. I'm gonna go 88.
Okay.
88.
The score is... I didn't actually push the button, so I'll push it. But just for the sake of keeping the deal alive. 17 reviews, by the way. 83.
80. Oh, man. I was almost my guess because I was going to split faith and got no score, but...
Yeah. But he was close. Yeah, danced all around it. You're a girl who goes to another universe and you choose who to support, pass to take. Changes how the real world further. Okay. So, Shack News says, despite having predetermined outcomes, Harmony the Fall of Reverie does a great job at giving players a true sense of agency over the direction of the story. Even when things don't go as expected, the events that unfold are no less intriguing. The game raises the bar for what can be achieved through player choice, and those looking for a compelling narrative-driven experience have plenty to enjoy here.
Okay. So that was Shack News?
Mm-hmm.
Can't hit a free throw. Okay.
King, I wanted to, but it isn't on OpenCritic yet. It's on Metacritic, but it's not on OpenCritic yet. And unfortunately, Metacritic can still be gamed and botted up and down, whereas OpenCritic can't. So, your second review is from Plant Magazine. That says, the most delightfully surprising thing about Harmony is that using the augural board never feels clinical, given that the choices you make throughout attest to the game's belief, logic and empathy aren't mutually exclusive. You almost always know what the rewards are for each of your choices, so picking an option that, say, doesn't yield egregore The crystallized energy that fuels each aspiration and serves as a sort of skill check for certain nodes demonstrates a real commitment to helping others, not for one's own sake, but for the sake of others. Sure.
All right.
I get what they're going at there. You can choose to play the game for the game, or you can choose to go story side and get less of the upgrade stuff.
Huh.
Depending on your choices.
All right. I want to go 83.
Okay. Yeah, specifically, King, there is one review up for Battle Operations 2 on PC so far. When we get more on there, we'll come back to it.
Right on, right on.
The score is 94.
Oh, wow.
94%.
Okay. I seem to enjoy it.
I'm pretty happy with that one.
Yes, play this. We recommend.
And then, finally for tonight. Oh, okay. That's cool. Common like Disco Elysium almost, where you interact with the... Finally for tonight, we have Bleak Sword DX, which is discover and destroy increasingly horrifying creatures across an oppressive lo-fi world, wielding fierce weaponry and powerful magic in this pocket-sized action adventure. I kept trying to add dungeon in there for some reason. Action roguelike hack and slash 2D fighter.
Okay. So 80. 80. 80.
Okay.
Me and Will are on the same wavelength for this one.
Score is 81.
Oh, man. All right.
Just around it.
Yes. Ugh.
I think this is the first time we've gotten through the last game of reviews and nobody's got ice cream.
That's a couple times.
Have we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
16 reviewers. And I have 2 for you here. God is a Geek says, Bleak Sword DX is a simple action game, but its combat is very sublime. And it had a whole lot of enemy and level variety to keep things interesting. Just for an action game, that's what you want.
Right.
Whereas Niche Gamer said, Bleak Sword DX falls short of greatness due to its questionable adherence to minimalism. It comes close to being interesting, but the lack of variety keeps it boring. Bleak Sword DX strengths are its low barrier to entry and how it pushes the player forward with its casual design.
All right. Huh. Well, I think that they might recommend it. I'm gonna go 82.
Okay.
Recommend it.
What do you think, chat?
Yeah.
Let's see, 73. The score is 69%.
69, dude. All right.
Not overly recommended.
No, I was thinking about like those 2D, the road lights, whatever, side scrollers type thing.
Yeah.
It's like that used to be just pretty much all games were.
Yeah.
It was either that or top down.
Mm-hmm.
All they were. You never got anything different. Not counting like Dragon's Lair or
Right.
some game later, but still.
Those are a little different.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good try, everybody. Maybe ice cream next week. We'll see. We'll move into announcements.
All right.
So the very first one is super weird. Disney has for a long time made knockoff Kamen Rider and Super Sentai stuff. They weren't able to sell because of copyrights. But this time they partnered with Premium Bandai to make a Disney Vault belt called the Disney Imagination Belt. And it's got different keys that play different jingles. The very first one is When You Wish Upon a Star.
Of course.
Yeah. The assumption is that the rest are going to be like classic Disney movie themes, you know? This is just really weird. It's not going to be a series or anything. It's just a belt.
Right.
And they're going to make like a limited run of them, and they're going to be incredibly expensive.
Yes. Well, I'm sure there's a high demand from all those Kamen Rider Disney fans.
Right. That's not the weird crossover.
Right.
That's not something that just jumps to mind. It would make way more sense to me to do this with Kingdom Hearts, not with... Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's our...
Well, with Kingdom Hearts, see, this is Disney's ways to get their finger in the pie.
Yeah.
You know, look what we've made. A wonderful belt.
Also,
would you help us sell it?
Of all of the options, why the vault? The thing that they're memed on so much.
I don't because for that level of company, and there's plenty of them. They're just kind of blind. They don't actually care about what's being said.
Yeah,
it's the topic, right? So
yeah, that's right.
No, so it's like, hey, boy, the vault has been mentioned a bunch.
Yeah.
Do we have context for how it's mentioned? No, but it's been mentioned a bunch.
Really high in the Google Trends.
Right. So let's use that.
Yeah. Look, the only good thing that could possibly come out of this is in a crossover movie, you get the Kamen Rider Imagination as like a crossover rider that shows up and gets killed, which is what happens with all the movie exclusive riders.
No. The only way I want Kamen Rider Imagination to show up something else is if he saves the children from the Willy Wonka ferry ride. He can show up there.
He puts the key in, turns it. Imagination.
Pure imagination.
I would watch it though. Unironically, I would. That makes me part of the problem.
Yeah, but I've seen some of the stuff you'll watch.
That's true. So next up, we have the Summer Games Fest announcements. There's quite a few of these. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So it's got nothing to do Summer Games, nothing to do with the Olympics.
No. This used to be just a demo thing they did every year. Now it's a full-on E3, I guess. Okay. Got a lot of games to run down the list here for you. I'm going to try and keep it brief, but obviously if you have one you want to talk about, please stop me and chat. If you have one you care about, please let us know. People on YouTube, let us know in about 6 minutes. Starting off, they showed a gameplay trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the second one of the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy.
Yeah.
It's going to be on 2 discs, that's fun. I like that.
Yeah. Well, why is that still a thing? How are they? They did that on purpose.
I think they did too, but it's cute. I like it. And they also said that there's going to be some surprises in this one, which I don't. Of course, there are. They can't just remake 7 with the way they're doing stuff. They didn't just remake 7 with the first part, so of course it's going to be different, you know. Right. But
I think I should just go back and play the first one.
I don't blame you.
Disc on the PS2 if I have to.
Yeah, I've got my copy. It's over here after I broke a monitor with it, you know. So. Then we got a release date for Spider-Man 2, which is October 20th.
So that's got a Venom suit in it, right?
Yep.
Right on. Yeah.
Coming out soon. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown got announced.
Okay. It's been a while since I've heard of Prince of Persia game.
Well, the last one. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the last one was rough.
Yeah, and didn't come out. It got canceled. So this one is going for more of a cartoony look, going with more of a side scroller style, Metroidvania almost. But yeah, it did not have time rewinding in the trailer, so people are a little concerned. But
yeah, put that in.
They still have time to put it in there, right? It's coming next year.
Maybe.
There was a
I think
new. Oh, go ahead.
this version made it all the way to beta testing before they dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Uh,
game Spider-Man 2 looked great.
Mortal Kombat 1 got a new trailer, which just showed off some more cool stuff. And that's where the taunts come from that we saw, where you have to duck twice to taunt.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Fortnite is getting Transformers for the newest crossover, specifically Optimus Prime.
Of
You know.
course. Optimus Prime.
I guarantee you that's the line they're going to use, too, because what else do you use?
Yeah, that's the best. That's it. That's it there.
Yeah.
Before you, I know. The look, I would be like first in line for like new Transformer stuff.
Yeah.
But really hasn't been that good, movies or otherwise.
Well, Transformers Devastation was solid. It wasn't good, but it was okay. Transformers Dark of the Moon was incredible. That was the 3-player third-person shooter where you could transform and fly around as a jet. That was great, and then they just never made another one.
Yeah.
Speaking of making another one, though, Sonic Superstars is a new 2D classic Sonic game coming this year.
Okay. They can still pushing out Sonic.
Yeah, I'm okay with more Sonic.
You've got other games, Sega.
Well, speaking of Sega other games, Alan Wake 2 got a big gameplay trailer
Yeah.
where they showed some of the gameplay. It actually looks really interesting. It doesn't look like Alan Wake in some ways, but it also does. It's like we said when we saw that first trailer. It's Alan Wake mixed with Resident Evil now.
Right.
Look, all they have to do to make a good Sonic game is put really good vocal tracks in there and really good boss fights, and everybody's fine. It doesn't matter how rough some stuff is, you know?
I dig the sound. My favorite thing about Alan Wake is the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Pulse of the Fall. The soundtrack is really good.
Yeah. I'm excited for Alan Wake 2. Well, hopefully this 2D Sonic game is just as good as Frontiers, if not better. Like a Dragon Gaiden was announced. The Man Who Erased His Name. This is a new Yakuza game about Kiryu. Why I wore my Kiryu shirt. So,
Fair enough.
represent. Love him. He's the best. Yeah, the trailer was great. Star Trek Infinite was announced, which is a new grand strategy game for Paradox. With Star Trek characters. You're going to be fighting the Borg.
What? See, Star Trek strategy games have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I remember, because on DOS, there was Star Trek, like you set up everything was strategy. And what was the other big? The other big one was a Star Wars TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
The Star Wars TIE Fighter that was real big on the old DOS system.
Well, there was an Odyssey game too, Star Trek Odyssey.
Yeah.
I think that was Windows 98,
Okay.
but it's a good game.
So that was a solid system too. Windows 98 ran actually very well.
Yeah, I miss it. It was nice having something that was reliable. Sometimes I boot up this computer and it just forgets how audio works.
Yeah.
That game of any type, I understand. I like strategy games a lot, but I understand why some people don't, for sure. Because you're not in the action the way that you are in a lot of other games, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
If it works for Captain Kirk, that's how I live my life, Dark. If it works for Captain Kirk, it works. That's why every time I step into a chair, I have to swing my leg over it first.
That's Riker.
Well, Riker did it too, but Kirk did it.
Yeah, well, Riker did it because he had a back injury.
Yeah, no, that's right.
He can't sit down normally.
Look, Riker and Kirk might as well have been the same person in a lot of ways. They set out with Riker to make Kirk again. They didn't succeed, but that's what they were trying to do.
Riker's his own guy. Look, Next Generation is my favorite Star Trek.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Star Trek I'm just bored with.
Yeah.
The original series and the animated cartoon that came out before my time. I think it came out in the early 70s.
Okay.
Those are so hokey.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I would watch them. But Next Generation was really good.
No, I like Riker a lot, but they were definitely trying to to hit that magic of Kirk again, and they didn't quite. Riker's better when he's his own person.
Yeah.
Talking about her own person, this is a weird thing to come back. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando is coming out.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You're going to be fighting Zambinos and first-person shooter style.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd rather have a Toxic Waste Avenger game, but
Yeah.
we won't have that.
Then they announced Sandland, which is a new action game from Bandai and Akira Toriyama. It's got his art style, and it's based on a manga he made in the early 2000s. And you'll be fighting in tanks and melee combat across a big desert.
Okay.
We got a new Pal World trailer, which just shows Pal World is still Pokemon, but with guns. And it looks really weird, and I can't wait to play it. Yeah, it should look like DBZ. Toriyama has one art style, and he sticks with it. Go for it, man. That's how you like to draw. You do it.
I want to see Pikachu pull out the deuce. That's what.
Yep. There's a shot where they're Pikachu, as it were, because there's a lot of stuff in that Power World trailer that's clearly just inspired by Pokemon, and they're not ashamed of it at all. Pikachu pulls out a minigun. It's like, all right.
Which that's such a funny thing, you know? Because there's nothing mini about a minigun.
Right. No, there's not.
Shoot Pikachu. Oh, so you're going to pull out the deuce on the Pikachu. Okay. I see.
After that, we got news that Lord of the Rings Return to Moria is coming this fall.
Yes.
We'll see. They did confirm it is in the Fourth Age.
Well, yeah.
So,
no elves.
Right.
There'll be a couple of elves, but I doubt you'll run into them. It should be about dwarves.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Ugh.
I hate that, but I get that.
Yes. It hurts my heart, but I can't blame you.
Speaking of hating stuff, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis is getting a beta, and they showed a new trailer. This is the one that's got the entire... It's a mobile game that has the entire story of Final Fantasy VII, like all the extra stuff, done up in like the Final Fantasy 15 Go style that they did for mobile. However, this trailer revealed something. It's a gacha.
I'm sure it's a mobile game.
It didn't have to be, though. It could have just been the story of Final Fantasy VII, man.
Mobile games, look, a mobile game needs to be like Candy Crush, right? That's a mobile game.
Yeah.
Stop trying to put stuff on it.
Like, how am I supposed to play through the story if I have to have these characters from Gacha? Are you telling me Vincent Valentine is going to be around in Crisis Core because I got him in a Gacha pull?
Now, what was it? I think it was Final. I think it was. It might have been 10. I'm feeling it was 8, but it might have been 10. That had a. It had a mobile counterpart to it. That was about raising. Once you got a chocobo, you could like raise, and it was like a
Chocobo breeding.
Chocobo breeding.
Yeah. 7 had that too, but it was a lot more lax. I love Vincent as well. Should clarify. Vincent Valentine's incredible. He just shouldn't be in Crisis Core.
God, I don't know anybody could afford a cell phone when Final Fantasy VII came out.
Right. Banisher's Ghost of New Eden is a new game coming out from the same people that made Vampire. And we had Twisted Metal is getting a TV show that's coming out on Peacock on July 27th.
Yeah. It's been Twisted for a while. Twisted Metal was like a really cool thing. We're always looking for it to come out. And then the last one, maybe it's not the last one. I remember Twisted Metal Black coming out. And it just didn't go over like it should have.
Yeah. There's more stuff for Call of Duty. Path of Exile 2 got a new trailer. Exoprimal's getting a Street Fighter 6 crossover, which is really cool and weird. Exoprimal's the one where you fight dinosaurs, and there's a Mecha Ryu in it now.
Okay.
Sure. Liza P is getting a demo. I think it's already out now, and it's coming out on September 19th instead of in August. there was a new trailer for Witcher Season 3. I didn't watch it because I'm really sad about what they did to The Witcher. Am I gonna dino? Yeah, I'm right there with you. There's a new trailer for Space Marine 2, which shows it's going to have 3-player co-op, which is cool. We already knew Nick Cage was coming to Dead by Daylight, so we got another trailer on that. Yes, Your Grace has a sequel called Snowfall coming. Then there was Remnant from the Ashes 2, got some new stuff shown off. Literally out that day. Okay, good to know. Under the Waves is coming out in August. Honkai Star Rail is coming to PS5. Black Desert Online has a new expansion.
Back up. What was coming out on the
Honkai Star Rail.
Okay, Honkai. Okay.
I thought I said a different range, didn't you?
I thought you were like Honky Star Rail.
Yeah.
Like, all right, let's go.
No, Honkai Star Rail looks really cool. It's a turn-based, free-to-play game, but it's gacha because it's made by the same people that make Genshin. So,
yeah.
There's a new hack and slash. I'm gonna do my best with this title. Please forgive me. It is Lisfanga, the Time Shift Warrior. Looks pretty cool. I'm right there with you, Dark.
Yeah.
Fae Farm awesome. Fae Farm is getting a release date and a PC reveal soon. That's a new farming sim that looks pretty cool. Throne and Liberty got a new trailer. As you can see, I'm kind of moving through these because we still have a whole nother show to get through. And then finally, Party Animals got a release date, which is September 20th. Looking forward to that. There you go. And that was the Summer Game Show. Summer Game Fest, sorry. All these different names. This fungus, it did look cool. Some cool stuff shown off, but nothing that just made me like lose my mind. I say that. The Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, got me pretty excited. Yeah. And then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth had me so excited I broke a monitor. So I guess I was excited about that one too. But
lying.
No, Alan Wake looks good. I want to see more of it before I just jump, you know?
Yeah.
Then we had the Xbox Game Showcase, which showed the new Fable trailer, Fable reboot.
Fable, not Fable 4. It's Fable 4.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a weird trailer in a lot of ways because Richard Ayoade is the main thing in the trailer. Yeah. And I like Richard Ayoade. I think he's a very funny guy. Because his delivery is often very bland, but the things that he's saying are very out there, right? It's right. A good way to do a straight man in comedy, and which is ironic. Because he's not normally the straight man on his show. Normally there's the other people that are. It Crowd is a fun show. Anyway, I love Fable. Yeah.
I love Fable. The original Fable game is classic. It's great. Blew my mind when it came out. Fable 2 was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And then there was Fable 3.
Yeah.
They didn't beat it.
Yeah.
That's about all I'll say about that one.
Yep. They didn't reveal a release date for this. The trailer makes it feel like Fable, which is good. But it is coming to Game Pass day one. So
okay.
That's a pretty good deal. So we'll see.
It's not Lion's Head anymore.
Nope. It's being made by Playground.
Okay.
Game Pass. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty is the first big expansion for that game. Apparently people are really stoked. Apparently they fixed that game up pretty well. I don't know. I haven't gone back to it. But it's September 26th is when that launches.
All right.
Then there's Avowed, which is finally getting a release window after being in development hell for 6 years, I think.
Wow.
Sometime in 2024. That's the release window. It's not a steady date. It's just that's probably happening somewhere in there. There's a 1 terabyte version of the Xbox Series X coming Series S, coming out. So September 1st. It does. It looks cooler and cooler. I just wish it would actually release. It's not anymore.
Yeah, it's not what we were talking about the other day. I'm waiting. Here in the next few years, we're gonna have a 500 gig game.
Yeah.
For gameplay and graphics and everything, the size of the world, whatever. But it'll be 500 gigs.
And to clarify, when he says that, we don't mean like 500 gigs after all the DLC is at launch.
Yeah. See it coming through.
Then we got Starfield. Some stuff was shown off.
Starfield.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't. It was, I saw a thing for Starfield Direct, and I was like, "Come on, Starfield got its very own." But no. We have to have our own show about our game.
Yeah. No, they pretty much took over the show, and then they like walked away from the game for a little bit to talk about merch, and then came back to the game.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty cool. I'm a little nervous about it because it's given a lot of the promises that No Man's Sky gave.
Well, it's Bethesda.
Right.
That's what I'm about. Like, I love Fallout 4. I'm playing it now.
Right.
I can't go to East Boston. I got to be very careful because it's going to lock up.
Yeah.
When I get around the skyscrapers.
Yeah.
You know?
They claim if it released right now, it would have less bugs than any other game they've ever made.
That's still not saying much.
Right. It's not. Todd Howard has also said this might be the last game that he works on.
No.
Right.
No, it's Elder Scrolls 6.
Right.
Will be the last game that he works on.
Right. But he said Starfield will be the last one years ago. That's where I was going with that. It's every time a new game comes out from them, this is probably going to be my last one.
You better get it while I'm still here.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you're going anywhere personally, Todd, but, you do you, man.
Yeah.
But we'll see. They're saying over 100 planets, and you can explore the full planet,
Yeah. The couple things I saw on it, it was like, it's kind of gets a little bit redundant.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to go to this place, you're going to go into a dungeon type thing, there's going to be space raiders. And for one of the beta testers, it was I didn't like the planets. They did like being able to board other ships. They thought it was good.
Yeah.
Fallout 76 should.
Yeah.
Which is the earliest. That's the first story. That would be the earliest story in the Fallout universe.
Yeah. Also, apparently, has gotten pretty good with updates.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know. I haven't checked it out.
I do have just one last thing to say about Starfield, and it's that I love Jurassic Park, but I blame Jurassic Park for this. Every space game that has to show off wildlife on random planets always starts with a brachiosaur equivalent.
Right. I wonder if they have somebody in your cockpit grab your head and turn it so you can.
Yeah.
Look at the Diplodocus.
Like, look, you can show off other stuff. I love brachiosaurs too. I love them as much as the next guy. It's just, look.
No. Allosaurus is the best dinosaur.
Start me off with a beast that looks like this on a planet.
Fair enough.
A squirrel lizard snake.
That would be an ankylosaurus. That would be something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Cool.
Raptors would be cool.
Raptors are cool. Of course, velociraptors were not that big. They were the size of a chicken.
Right.
They were made much
Let
bigger.
me dream.
Let me dream.
Oh. Do you remember We Happy Few?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that didn't sell super well, but it was a cool idea, right? It had a cool premise. Well, they're back with thank you for the good job. They're back with a new game called South of Midnight, and it'll be coming to Game Pass as well. It looks okay. There's not a lot of information in that trailer, but Yeah, sounds good.
In fact, there won't be a one at all. No long necks.
Yep. This is interesting, Yeah, there you go. Just dino people, no humans, just dino people.
Right.
Then they showed off Star Wars Outlaws. It's being made by Ubisoft. And this is the big one. This is the big Star Wars game they're wanting to make. So we'll see how good it is, but it's going to have cantinas and rancors and stormtroopers and,
Sure.
it's going to be open world, so,
Yeah.
It looks cool, but I just don't have a lot of faith in Ubisoft.
Yeah.
New Forza coming. This one, can you guess what it's called?
The last one was Horizon. No.
This is
Equator.
Forza Motorsport.
Okay.
So they're just rebooting it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, their open worlds exist.
Yeah.
There's stuff to do in them.
Ridge Racer. Come on.
I agree. Ridge Racer would be great, but Ridge Racer wouldn't be here. That was Sony.
Yeah, that's true.
I do still want Ridge. And I want it to open with somebody going, Ridge Racer.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Gran Turismo thing. Forza, Gran Turismo, they kind of have this. I don't know. There's only so much you can do with it. Just make it look better. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Look, we can make it. Now you can see the reflection of the trees in your window as you go back. If you look at if you look at your window.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. You can actually see the exhaust. Now there's mirages on the road, like there's heat coming off of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got quite a few more of these. I'll start lightning rounding them. Forza Gran Turismo. Yeah, they do. Inzile's Clockwork Revolution was shown off, which they didn't give a date for, but it's coming to Game Pass on day one. Metaphor ReFantazio is made by the creators of Persona and looks fairly interesting. Spiritfarer Studio Thunder Lotus is making a new game called 33 Immortals. This can be a co-op action game. Payday 3 got shown off, and it's also coming to Game Pass September 21st. Persona 3 Reload got shown off, which is a remake of Persona 3, but including some of the stuff from Persona 3 FES, but without some of the stuff from Persona 3 For Answer.
I feel like they just mess with people, all right? Because they go, and now for Persona, everybody's like, 3 remake.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, in that same vein, Persona 5 Tactica was revealed, which is a Persona 5 tactical RPG, Fire Emblem style. It's coming to Game Pass November 17th. So, yeah, and 3 Remake won't have the DLC, as is said here, but it will have some new voiced scenes that weren't voiced in the original. So, we'll see. I love Persona 3. It's my favorite Persona of the bunch, and as it's been said, every time, as Dark just put it, every time Persona 3 comes back out again, it's worse than at launch. So the best way to play Persona 3 is to play a modded ROM. So, Sea of Thieves is getting a Monkey Island crossover. Monkey Island characters.
That's what one of the crossovers we talked about on here. That's like, okay, I can see that one.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is a new game. It's not just an update, it is a new flight simulator. And current Microsoft Flight Simulator is getting a Dune crossover. It'll bring the Thopter to Flight Simulator.
Look, I love Dune. Especially the first book by Frank Herbert. The second one, Children of Dune. And then the third one, I think, is Gods of Dune. That's really weird.
Yeah.
But there's never, ever been... Moving Dune into any other format just doesn't work.
Right.
They haven't done it. Whether it's a series, whether it's a movie, whether it's a game, they have never pulled it off.
Right. Dark, they claim it's going to have new weather patterns, new wind patterns to be able to go through, as well as a bunch of new planes to use.
That seems really unnecessary. It seems like something you've given people who like Flight Simulator and now have all the setups to play. You've given them a game where you've given them the world.
Yeah.
Make that better.
Yeah.
You can do a DLC. Do a weather DLC. You can do it.
Agree. Sometime next year, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth was revealed, coming out sometime in 2024. Ichiban's naked in the trailer. That was fun and weird. Also, he's in Hawaii. He's in America, which is fun and weird. Also, it's coming out on Xbox and Windows, which is cool because it's coming to Game Pass, right? What's weird is Yakuza Like a Dragon was a Sony exclusive at launch for 6 months.
Yeah.
So, am I going to be able to transfer over save stuff?
No.
Since I can't play it on Sony at launch?
I know there's this weird game that they've been playing, especially those two companies. Nintendo's kind of off on its own little island about like games that that come out on both systems. Things like, hey, there's going to be, and it's never quite that. You never really cross them over.
Yeah. There are Yakuza Like a Dragon was the first one in the Ichiban series, the Kasuga Ichiban, and this is the second one in that. Fallout 76 Atlantic City expansion coming soon. That's all they said. Path of the Goddess was shown off, an action-focused game with horror themes. Banner Saga creators are making a new game called Towerborn, a co-op adventure. Seems pretty cool. Still Wakes the Deep got a short trailer. Don't really know much about that other than it's coming to Game Pass. Dungeons of Hinterberg is coming sometime next year, and it has cel-shaded art. That's cool. Oh, no, those are two different games. Like a Dragon Gaiden is a different game from Infinite Wealth. Like a Dragon Gaiden is the Kiryu game, and Infinite Wealth is the Ichiban game.
Look, I beat Ninja Gaiden. I don't want to play any other game with Gaiden in it. That was a nightmare.
ESO is getting the Shadow over Morrowind stuff. The new expansion with Necrom. City Skyline 2 is coming to Game Pass. Then Don't Nod has a new game called Jusant. And that was the Xbox Games Showcase.
Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, no GB4. So from there, we have a really short announcement here, which is Mega Man X Dive offline. So they took a gacha that was really popular on mobile, and they said, hey, what if we brought it to Steam, but we didn't make it a gacha? We made a game that you can buy and just unlock all the characters that we used to give out through gachas by playing the game.
Yeah. What a concept. Mind blown.
Yeah, so obviously I'm going to be playing Mega Man X Dive offline. That sounds great. That's my biggest problem with that game is that it's gacha, and I can't play a gacha anymore because I know myself. So I'm excited. That's cool. Oh, Dark, the Yakuza series is so good. Ichiban and the Kiryu games are both going to be great. And that's the end of announcements. So just, hey, there is still hope in this world where they're taking a gacha and making it not gacha anymore.
Yeah.
But we'll get into news. The first bit of news we have here is some 40K news. There is a tournament. Wow, indeed, Will. There's a tournament being held in Alabama called the Bugbear GT. And they decided 3 weeks before the launch of 10th edition to change the tournament to a 10th edition tournament instead of a 9th edition tournament. When we wouldn't have all the rules for 10th edition.
Yeah.
And then went, hey, there's one thing that seems really broken for the Eldar, the Space Elves, so you just can't play those. And somebody said, well, what if I already bought my hotel room and everything, because we were playing 9th edition and I was bringing my Eldar, and I can't cancel my hotel room, and you won't let me cancel my ticket. Are you offering refunds? And the TO, the tournament organizer, responded with, well, that's just too bad. Sucks to suck.
Let's see. We have put ourselves in a hole. Do we climb out or just dig further? Well, obviously the logical thing to do is dig further.
Yep. So then as we get closer to the tournament, new stuff is coming out about other very strong units. Because we don't know any of the point costs yet. We don't know how much it's going to cost to bring any unit. And so now they're going, also, if you play Deathwatch, you can't bring Deathwatch. And if you play Tyranids, you can't bring this model at all. It's like, we don't know any of the rules. What are you doing? And so Games Workshop put out a thing that was like, hey, we don't condone this behavior. This is not okay. Don't do this.
Ridiculous.
It's like, look, when Games Workshop tells you you've gone too far.
Right.
Oh. So, ISO seems to be doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm with you there, Dark. But yeah, again, yeah. So, the community has like pushed back against it pretty hard, and I doubt there'll be a Bugbear GT next year. That's all I'm saying. So, next up, speaking of things that won't be around next year, Soul Calibur 5 is dead.
Really?
Yeah, people aren't too happy about this, but they put out a thing that just says, hey, we're not doing it anymore. We're not supporting it. They said Soul Calibur 5 is taking its final curtain call on the stage of history and will be sunset on PS3 and 360 on June 19th, 2023. The base game and all associated DLC will no longer be available for purchase.
Yeah. That's kind of weird because it was such a big splash when it came out.
Uh-huh.
You know? And then, I don't know.
And it's still at tournaments. Like, Soul Calibur 6 is out, sure, but SC5 has been big in tournaments for a long time.
Well, yeah, but Street Fighter 2 is still in tournaments. So
Yeah, right.
Right.
Probably. So that's probably why they're doing this. But either way, it's a shame when, hey, the only way this will be at tournaments now is locals. But also, if you have it physically, you'll be fine. But if you don't and you want to own it digitally, you should get it now. Because June 19th is coming up quick. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'll still have locals. It just won't have any online tournaments anymore.
Right.
Speaking of things that are dead, let's talk about how a Diablo 4 player lost his level 100 hardcore character because of a server malfunction.
It should not happen. Look, there was a time when this was like an actual issue. Like going through EverQuest, that was a threat that was there. You know, your dial up, somebody was going to pick up the phone and you could die.
Yeah.
You know, but no. Add it just won't okay. I don't know. They didn't have. I think they've made. You know, Blizzard's just made a lot of missteps.
Yep.
Over the past few years.
Damage.
Yep. Launching the game. Oh, Dark. If it cut me off, what I said was just that it won't have online tournaments anymore. Launching a game that had bad servers was a choice to begin with, but launching a game with hardcore that had bad servers was
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the cool thing in Diablo is you can play hardcore, right?
That's a lot of
Not for
damage.
everybody, but you die, you're done.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of a cool thing. Adds extra pressure to the game. Good deal. I
redeemed.
I want to like Diablo.
Yeah.
I've got a good history over the series with the first three. You know, the first one was great. I collected ears online. That was a mod you weren't supposed to have, but still, if you killed another PC, it would give you an ear in your inventory with their name underneath it.
Yeah.
The Diablo 2 was pretty good. Actually, Diablo 2 is probably the best one.
Yeah, I
Diablo
think so.
2 was okay, really arcadey though.
Yeah.
That seemed like a game that, you know, for D2. I don't know. D2 felt like a solid game for Rogue Complete, especially with the DLC and all that.
Yeah.
I want to like Diablo 4 just because me and my love can play that together. You know, do couch co-op. But from what I've seen about it, it's just not worth getting. Like you have to be online to play. I don't like that.
Yep. So, Dark, to answer your question, Saub Karn Hanaf reached level 100 in hardcore, was recognized by Blizzard, and as he continued to try and get to the final boss, he disconnected from the server. When he disconnected, the game decided that meant that his character had died, because that's what happens when you die in hardcore, is you disconnect. And so the game wiped his character from the server. He had been playing as that character for 82 hours.
Yeah. That sucks. That stinks.
They're going to put his name on a statue of Lilith in the game.
Great.
He can't get that character back, though. They can't just
Watch
make
out,
him a new
man.
level 100 character. Yeah, watch out, Bearded Man. Watch out for random disconnects.
Yeah, that's so dumb. So dumb. Because I played on Diablo 3, I played hardcore, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to be online.
Right.
You know, you jump in the wrong place, you get surrounded and beat up, you die. It's done.
Yeah. That was
You have a nice little memorial. You can go look at it and, in your options or whatever. I don't know. I'm just not so hype on it, which hurts because I like the Diablo series, but I'm just not hype on Blizzard right now and what they're trying to do with this game.
Well, Dark, what Blizzard's official response to this was that they made it where when you disconnect in hardcore mode, it kills you because they didn't want people to be able to cheat and disconnect to avoid dying.
Yeah.
But there should be some kind of way to prove to the system that it was a disconnect you chose to do as compared to, hey, my internet provider decided to, like, thin out my internet for a little bit and
I had to work on the
flushed on
line.
it. Yeah.
Right?
The power went out. Exactly. Yep.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
That's where it shines.
Yeah.
Seriously.
GG.
Diablo 3 is the co-op, Yeah. Run around with somebody you like, beat stuff up.
Yeah.
Simple, a storyline that's good, but it's not that deep.
Right.
They take old stories, old myths and stuff, and they change it up a little bit. They use the words from it, like Nephilim and things like that. Ugh.
Yeah. Also, like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the devs can't they can't get a character back and restore a character that's been wiped from hardcore. I understand that's how that works, right?
Yeah.
Surely they could have just console modded on, like, server side him a new character at level 100.
They probably could have. Don't call me Shirley.
Well, yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a single player game. Why does it matter? But it's because they don't want it to be a single player.
No. We're trying to build a community. I don't like people.
Right.
I want to be in a community. I want to beat up demons.
Yep. That's what I signed up for.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that with somebody else. I'd play Dungeons and Dragons online.
Hey. That's we'll go. I need to get you to check out that game one day. I've got an account. I haven't played it much because it's Standing Stone as well.
Yeah.
DDO, and it's 3rd edition.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what else sounds pretty good? Yuji Naka was sentenced 30 months in jail for insider trading.
I know, and like the Martha Stewart thing, where she was doing insider trading.
Yeah.
There's a little bit to that was like, hey, I don't think she really knew.
Yeah.
And that could be played off. That could be
right.
Maybe she had, a publicist come out for her, tell her what to say or whatever. Right? But it didn't seem like she really had an idea. Not like, some of the people in our government.
Yeah.
But this guy, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yep. Also, that's very true, Dark. For anybody who doesn't remember who Yuji Naka is, he was one of the people that helped create Sonic. I'll put it this way. From what I can tell, he let that get to his head and continued to be an absolute jerk to all the dev teams that he worked with. It's his fault Ballad of Wonderworld is the way it is. It's his fault that a bunch of devs don't have jobs today. He ruined a bunch of deals that were being made with Square and other companies. So the teams that were making Dragon Quest Tact, it took them 4 extra years to get that game out. And then
this guy goes to the mirror every morning, looks in it, and is like, I am legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dragon Quest Monsters Treasure Road, whatever the sailing one, whatever it was called, doesn't exist anymore. He cost all of those people their jobs, just so he can make a little bit of extra money. The biggest story when people were like, "Well, Trey, you really seem to hate this guy. Why does he make you so mad?" Like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's when he was working on Sonic Unleashed. And go ahead.
I was saying that was yeah, exactly. Dark and I are giving you the answer. Look,
Yeah,
I said it.
yeah.
She said it's an ass clown.
Yeah.
That pretty much covers it.
Well, when he was working on Sonic Unleashed, there was a whole team of devs that were from America that he thought didn't speak Japanese. And so he walked in the room and said, "Oh yeah, just get them to finish up some of the finer details and then we'll fire them without having to pay them the rest of their salaries." And then his aide went, "Mr. Naka, they speak Japanese." And he said, "Oh, I was joking." So, 30 months in jail. Not long enough as far as I'm concerned when it comes to Balan Wonderworld.
Well, no, and I don't know how it would work in Japan. But like here, if you get thrown in jail for insider trading, you're still going to be rich when you come out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I agree, Dark. I agree. But hopefully no company hires him after this. He'll probably go to Kickstarter and there'll be people that are like, "Oh, the Sonic creator wants to make some stuff? Yeah, I'll help him." But he was one of the people that helped make Sonic. He was not Sonic's creator.
Right.
You know what his part was? The red shoes. Anyway, on to more news that's going to upset us. Let's talk about Embracer Group. Because they've put out a thing on Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
And I will read you the quote because it is something, man. Find this once you got through the training, hopefully. But no, Embracer Group that owns Lord of the Rings and Tomb Raider now, they own the rights to make stuff from it. They don't own Lord of the Rings, right? But they own the rights. Their COO said, and I quote, "The company plans to exploit Lord of the Rings in a very significant fashion, particularly in the gaming market."
Well, no. There's a reason. It bothers me so much because all these groups that are so much bigger have so much money and can do so much stuff. And I stand by Lord of the Rings Online. That's the best representation of Middle Earth in any media.
Yep.
I don't know, man. It's really silly. It's Tolkien's world. He made it. It's just being honest. True.
Emotional
That is a very honest thing right there, right?
There is go ahead.
Nothing. I was gonna make fun of Amazon, but go ahead.
There's a little bit more to this, which is this could just be boasting too, because last week Embracer Group lost a $2 billion partnership and lost $10 million in stock after the launch of Gollum. So this could just be them trying to talk big for the sake of their stockholders.
Possibly so.
But they have not said what company it was that they have lost that partnership with. I'm going to give you my tinfoil hat opinion on it. I think it's Games Workshop, because Games Workshop put out a thing saying that they now own the rights to make Lord of the Rings miniatures.
Didn't they put out the game?
Yeah, but then before they were doing it in concert with Embracer in a partnership. Okay. But then they put out a thing that said they have the exclusive rights to make Lord of the Rings miniatures now, and so the game is going to be getting a bigger push. Which leads me to believe that they bought out the rights for the tabletop side.
Yeah.
And so that's my gut reaction. It's probably Games Workshop that they lost.
That's one thing I don't like Middle Earth Enterprises, I don't like how they do that. They section and partition off.
Yep.
The world and the stories and everything to different things. And what's weird is people buy the rights to those sectioned and partitioned off things, and then make something that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Thankfully, Games Workshop, and don't get me wrong, I'm not defending Games Workshop here. They have plenty of their own problems. I can't buy Leviathan right now, even if I wanted to. But at least they're still keeping true to the world with the rule set they made for it, and it's all from the movies right now. They haven't made their own factions. It's just, here's the orcs, here's Gondor, here's Rohan. So far, they're keeping to it.
Where's Dale? I need Dale.
I agree. He should be there. For the Dale. But this is the same company, Embracer Group, that said that they bought Tomb Raider because they were so excited for it after Square Enix fumbled that bag, and then said that they didn't think anyone was interested in Tomb Raider. Why did
bad jobs of the last few things that had to deal with Tomb Raider?
Yeah, but why did they buy it if they don't think anyone's interested in it?
Oh, what was that? Was it the Lost Tomb or something like that? It's basically Diablo-esque, like Gauntlet or Diablo. From the top-down view, but you're Lara Croft and a couple other people.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember the name of that.
I can't either, but I played the first one of the two of those they made.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Yeah, there's just absolutely nothing special about it.
Right. If I was in the mood for that kind of game, it would do what I wanted it to do, but it wouldn't pull me into that mood,
Right.
And that's all our news for today. So, Temple of Osiris. Yeah, that was one of them.
That's it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
We'll throw it over to Rundgren's Corner.
Hey, your turn. We always start this off with a birthday. And a happy birthday to Chris Evans this week. Captain America. On that.
Johnny Storm.
I'm sure. Yes. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. No, I'm sure he's busy. He's probably got I don't know, Glass Onion 3 or Snowpiercer 7 or something that he's working on right now. I'm sure he'll catch you up this weekend, maybe next week sometime. So when you do, Mr. Chris Evans, happy birthday.
Yeah, send me a DM with what your vote's going to be for the assignment later on. Out of curiosity.
Yeah. Just so we'll know on that. So I've got a little bit of a different story today. It's not, well, I would if it come up. Where did it go? It was right here.
My favorite thing when you tell these stories, because of the new TV that you use, is that when you first pull them up, it looks like light from heaven is shining down upon you.
Exactly. I'm illuminating the world.
I'm just waiting for you to go, be not afraid.
Right. All right. Let me get myself straight here. Or with that. Okay. So a man now this happened in Ecuador. And no, I don't want to join. Thank you. Right. Yes. So a man named from Ecuador, Gilberto Barbera.
Okay.
He was not his week was going very badly. He had rushed his mother to a hospital on a Friday with a stroke and cardiopulmonary arrest. And doctors worked to try to get her to resuscitate her, and she didn't respond. And so the doctor on duty declared her dead. And the family, of course, doesn't have, it's not going to be an extravagant funeral with embalming and stuff like that.
Right.
Wrapped in a sheet, placed in a coffin. And the family was having a wake for her when she started knocking on the coffin lid. And they opened it up, and she was breathing heavenly. The person in the casket, his mother, was a retired nurse named Bella Montoya. And so they had to get her out of the coffin in the wake and get her back to the hospital where she's still with us. Now she is 76 years old. Problems. She's not doing well. But he was scared. He ran his mom to the hospital, expecting to hear news, and he gets told that she has passed. And he turns over all her information for the death certificate and everything out. They fill out the death certificate, send it up. A couple days later, they're having the wake, and she decides to wake up. How rude is that?
Yeah.
You're still dead for your own wake. Why? What's going on? That's just so rude. It gave the quote I got from the family was it gave us quite a shock.
Yeah, I bet.
That's like the understatement of the century.
Good job, indeed.
Well, see, there was about 20 of the people in the room attending the wake. They were there for about 5 hours of the wake when the coffin started to make a sound. And when they opened up, Mom was wrapped in sheets and hitting the coffin.
Man.
And they noticed that she was still breathing.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage, indeed.
Yeah. They rushed her back to the hospital. She's still obviously in serious condition. It's just the whole. This is not a happy tale at all.
Right.
It's just kind of mind blowing through that. However, the Ecuadorian government was like, no, this can't happen.
Right.
So they've got an investigation into the doctor and a whole bunch of legal issues.
Right.
And they've got to overturn. Of course, they got to overturn the death certificate and some other things. But that just feels terrifying.
Yeah. That does remind me of a story, though.
Yeah.
So in certain parts of Ireland and in other parts of the world, but in certain parts of Ireland back in the day, they would put a bell that could be rung because the idea was, well, what if? What if, And there is a very chilling story of a new graveskeeper, a new yard keeper that comes in, doesn't know how everything works, and they ask him the next morning, hey, was there anything weird that happened during the night? It was your first night. You do okay? He's like, yeah, but I had to cut the cord on one of those bells. It wouldn't stop ringing. Oh. It's like,
So if I'm just saying, if you're in Ecuador and you have to go to the hospital and you get called in the ambulance and they're taking you, and they tell you that they're taking you to Martin in Casa Hospital in Babahoyo, you may want to request to go somewhere else. Like take me to the street doc if you can.
Yeah.
But they've got a whole committee, and apparently Ecuador is going to change how they do death certificates and how they're issued and what happens to them. And
good idea.
Yeah. They're not. It doesn't sound like the doctor's getting away with it. They yeah.
That's horrifying.
So, I mean, here, that's not something you'd hear about in a lot of other countries where, like, embalming is a standard procedure, right?
Right.
And like, you don't have to get embalmed. You can sign a waiver. Say, for my father did not want to be embalmed. He was wrapped in a sheet, put in a box, put in the ground.
Yeah,
we had to bury him quick. But man, that I was reading over this, and it just kind of ran through all kinds of like weird emotions of like, what?
Yeah.
One, I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, that. Secondly, poor woman. That's got to be a nightmare, right?
Yeah.
Wake up in a coffin. And I understand, like, years and years ago, 100 years, whatever, like when you talk about with the bells or whatever, where they didn't understand what, because I'm pretty sure some of those old cases where people came back to life, they probably had like Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Yeah.
Or maybe just a straight coma that they couldn't recognize, that the breathing was so shallow that they couldn't get in. This should not. Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah. Yeah. This should not happen today. Not with like, listen, we have we have all kinds of medical equipment to check for breathing, pulse, for
Plug it on there, and it will tell you.
Yeah, we can't wake her up. Therefore, she must be dead.
The worst part is how many other people has he done that to?
There's no telling. There's no telling. Like I said, they had a long wait. They were, the wake's not so much for mourning the dead. You're going to be doing that, right? You're going to be in mourning there, but it's about celebrating the life that they had, and apparently still have.
Yeah,
do that. But I feel so bad for like Gilberto Barbera.
Yeah.
What an emotional roller coaster,
Yeah, for sure.
He obviously loves his mom. He's been taking care of her. He took her to the hospital. He's been keeping out with her. And it's just, not cool, man.
Yeah.
Not cool at all.
Yeah. Oh, like that. Oh, like that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Terrifying. When the silver lining in the story as well, at least they weren't buried yet.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's such a horrifying thing to think about, to wake up in a coffin.
And look, I the prognosis on his mother's not good. He
Right.
knows that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Hopefully they're not in a coma.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just like that. I can't believe that would happen.
Yeah.
Even in it, with just the medical knowledge that we have out there.
Yeah.
Stethoscope is not really that high tech equipment.
Right.
But still, they can hear breathing and heartbeats.
All right. Well, let's try to pull back from that. I thought the news I gave tonight was bad. Let's talk about your assignment.
All right. Talk about my assignment.
You played Basement.
Yeah.
Made some drugs.
Hot. It's not a bad game. It's kind of fun, leisurely game. Just get stuck in this one spot again.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how you get stuck in these games.
Okay.
Yeah, you know the deal.
They're not going that far. They're not doing a Breaking Bad thing. It's all about weed. I don't know if I can say any more on Twitch.
Right, yeah, I don't know. Chat 1, 2, or 3. It's 1, and then 2 is the one above, and 3 is the one below. Because some of these have little names, and I needed to make them bigger so you could see the names. But yeah, YouTube, I'll be waiting for your stuff too. I think any one of these could be really fun and cool. We'll see.
I don't know why meth is such a dirty drug. It's made out of cleaning products.
Yeah, that's true. Bum. So we have a pretty solid lead on one right now, which is the one I expected was probably going to get the lead tonight, honestly.
Okay, so no surprises for you.
Right. This is how I expected it to go when I saw what one of them was. Yeah, right now it is all of the votes. It is unanimous.
Okay.
But we'll give it another few seconds, and then I'll just end the poll early because it's real clear where we're going.
Okay.
But
man,
I'm stoked for it. I think it's going to be a fun. So
golly, I'm kind of scared with this bunch of weirdos all agreeing on one thing. Gosh, terrifying.
Ending the poll 15 seconds early. Yeah, it's not a battle. It's even the YouTube vote. Yeah. So the game that you'll be playing is the Swords of Ditto, Mormo's Curse.
Is this a Pokemon game?
No, it's a really interesting looking fantasy game. You want me to give you the Steam read off for it? It is now reimagined and expanded in the new Mormo's Curse update. The Swords of Ditto is a roguelike action RPG that creates a unique adventure for each new hero of legend in the relentless fight against Mormo. So it is a roguelike, but every life is supposed to be its own legend.
Okay.
I think that sounds really fun and really cool.
Yeah, all right.
Got a really cool soundtrack. It's got a really cool art style. I think it's going to be a fun one, I think. More mono. All right. Well, we will move into plugs.
Okay.
You got any plugs, good sir?
Yeah. I need somebody outside my household to watch Sweet Tooth. Give us feedback on it, see what they think. That was really good.
You can't just give me Sense8 and tell me I have to watch it and Kung Fu Hustle and Charlotte Soccer and Sweet Tooth.
Look, I gave you Sense8 and the other ones a long time ago.
Yeah, but I got Kamen Rider to watch too.
All right? Long time ago. Sweet Tooth came up this week. All right? But I like Sweet Tooth a lot, but
Come
Sense8
on, Trey.
is an amazing show.
What indeed. I forgot to mention it during my week, but we started watching The Raid, which is one of my 5 favorite movies of all time. I love The Raid, and we got about halfway through that, so I need to finish that up.
It's a movie that's an hour and a half long.
It's not me that made us stop. That's all I'm saying.
Hurry up, Rundgren.
Come on.
We only made it 30 minutes into Kindergarten Cop before we switched over to The Raid.
I
So
understand.
yeah, but I want to get to the line of it's not a two. Yeah, exactly. And the Almighty Johnsons. That's true. And the Almighty Johnsons.
Yes. It was a great show too.
But that line is so good. And the start when he just walks into a bar and starts shooting with a shotgun. Like, all right, sure, yeah, okay.
The dark in there. It is right there after.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
After is right there. Yes, supposed to be the there, right?
Yeah. No, I love that style of movie, The Raid, and so it kind of made its own subgenre in a lot of ways for action movies, but it's very good.
Yeah, there's some movies that especially modern action movies are going to get this influenced it, the camera work, whatever, the action camera work thing, and that is The Raid and the hall fights, the hallway scene. Yes. Fair enough.
It's okay, Dark. That's okay.
There are some enjoyable moments in some Schwarzenegger films.
Yeah.
Recall was okay. Get to mods. Let's get to mods.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Roll in the mod. Do it. And there's another movie of his that's not very well known called Commando.
Yeah, Commando's very good.
And the reason why it's good is because of the way he kills some people in there.
Yep.
Watch
the only
out,
reason you watch Friday
man.
the 13th is how he's going to kill this next person.
Yeah.
It's almost like all that in one movie.
Also, Jingle All the Way is legitimately a great movie. He fights Santas. Santa's making drugs.
Yeah. Which would be a much more interesting Christmas.
Yeah.
So
That's a great movie. Anyway, that's my plugs. I'm gonna plug Jingle All the Way in The Raid. Yeah, Old Boy's very good.
Yeah. And that's one where I was kind of leery because I made a Western version of it.
Yeah.
On that, but that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good. I don't think it was it's not as groundbreaking, obviously.
Right.
The first one, but it was pretty good.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow with you playing some Swords of Ditto, Mormo's Curse. And then Thursday, we're talking Arthurian mythology.
Yes. Yeah. Getting to that a little bit.
And then
I forget-
Friday. Oh, go ahead.
Story.
What'd you say?
So everybody should know the basics of that story, I would think, but maybe not. We'll get down to it.
Friday, we're building Wing Zero.
Nice.
Oh, very stoked for that.
Hmm.
And next Friday, I guess I get to choose what I want to paint. There's a lot of options. But I might just paint the goats on my own, to be honest. I really want to paint the goats.
Fine.
I think people really seem to enjoy watching me paint giant monsters anyway, so that may take up more of the painting. Build more gunpla, then buy more gunpla. Yeah. Yeah. All right, then. So until next time,
Okay. Vengeance. You got it.
I've been Trey.
I've been Rungren.
This has been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always use the full spectrum that life has to offer.